Hey, assalamu alaikum. You guys hear that? Let me play it again. Peace and quiet. You know, this is one of the blessings of being in business for yourself, is that you can decide that you need a little break and just go off to the park and go visit the pond with some ducks and enjoy some peace and quiet. So it's a big blessing, and I am so grateful to be able to have this opportunity. Sonia's over there, she's with me. She's walking around on a phone call. It doesn't mean that we stop working, and it doesn't mean that we stop hustling. But, you know, if we want to take a little break and get away from our home office, then we could do that. And there's just so many things to be grateful for. So now, again, it doesn't mean that, you know, we don't work hard. I mean, we're working now. We're on phone calls, making videos, doing whatever we got to do. But we're able to take a little breather at the same time. And so, again, just so grateful to God and everything that allows us to live the life that we want to live. So I want to talk today about connections, and specifically for entrepreneurs, what some of the most critical connections in your network are. It's kind of windy out here, so I hope the audio is not going to be too bad. So a couple of critical connections. It's almost like you want to consider this to be like your team as you build your entrepreneur network. And there's about 4 or 5 critical connections that make and help me be successful in my ventures. And so I'm going to talk about what those are and what you need to start building if you haven't already started building these. So the first one that comes to mind, and they're not necessarily in order of priority, because I think really you need all of them. They're all kind of legs of a chair to be successful. So the first one that comes to my mind that's really important to me is my accountant. If you don't have a good accountant, then you can't get a good grasp of your numbers, your profitability, your debt, your loss, etc., etc. So in order to have all of your businesses in the right frame and to understand how you're doing, are you going up, are you going down, and to be able to answer that at any moment is super critical. So one of my most valued professional relationships is my accountant, and my accountant is actually a great guy who had his own practice and then decided to give it all up because he just got tired of working, and took on just a few clients and let go of his big office and all of his employees. And he's a Mormon. He's from Utah, and between him and Sonia, you know, they keep me on my toes. All those gray areas of accounting, expenses that you should have and expenses that you shouldn't have, they keep me in line, and they keep me honest, and they keep me out of trouble with the IRS and with the government. So that's a super important connection. And I've worked with many other accountants before, and I've never had this level of trust and confidence as I do with this guy. So the point that I'm trying to make is that it takes a while to establish and find these critical connections for your business. So you got to start, and just, you know, when you find one, it doesn't mean that that's going to be your permanent connection. You got to keep kind of developing that relationship until you feel you've really found a true partner who's part of your business, not just somebody that, you know, you gotta pay an invoice to. So the second one is probably my lawyer. And again, not necessarily in terms of priority or preference or anything like that, but my attorney. And my attorney is a guy by the name of Bilal. He's an amazing attorney. He actually used to be a technical IT guy, and decided that he wanted to become a lawyer. He's based in Dallas, and he has his own firm and his own team, and he has been instrumental in my business as well. the longer that you are in business, it becomes inevitable at some point that you are going to need an attorney. In the beginning, when it's just you working out of your house, you probably can get away without one. But the longer you're in business, sooner or later you're going to hit a snag. Sooner or later, somebody, and I hate to be negative like this, but sooner or later somebody's going to sue you, or you're going to sue somebody over a bad deal. And and unfortunately that's happened with me as well. I've been in a few lawsuits. I'm currently engaged in one right now, and it's not pleasant, and it's not something that I like to spend time on. But having Bilal in my corner is, again, just absolutely invaluable. I can trust this guy. I know that he has my business at heart and my interest at heart, and we're trying to do the right thing, but there's not always the nicest people in the world, and sometimes you got to get serious and take action and protect yourself. So that relationship is key to my success. So I talked about my accountant, Wayne from Utah, my attorney, Bilal from Dallas, and then another few critical contacts for me. One is my broker, and that's Noshad from Orlando, I'm sorry. It's interesting, they're all over the place. Everything's virtual these days, right? So Noshad is another super critical connection for me, because he holds all my money, or a lot of my money, in the market, in investments, in mutual funds. And he also makes sure that everything that I do investment-wise is Sharia compliant. And that's, really, really important to me. And sometimes, I'll go to him and say, hey, look, there's such and such a stock. I want to jump in. It looks really promising and all of that. And he'll turn around and say, dude, it's not Sharia compliant, so don't even touch it. And, and grudgingly I say, okay. But he's taken really good care of my money. He's taken cash out when, we felt that the market was going to start dipping, and saved me quite a few dollars. He's also helped identify opportunities and invest early in pre-IPOs and a few other things, and really helped me out. Overall, I'm doing better than the market, and I don't take much credit for that. I really credit him for that. So again, in the beginning, you may think, well, I'll just go open an E-Trade account and do it myself, and that kind of thing. But honestly, the sooner the better that you can get yourself a financial guru, a broker who has your interest at heart. And there's a lot of pitfalls there in choosing the right broker, because a lot of them are out there pushing stuff and making commissions. So you really have to educate yourself on that. And I'm not trying to refer any of you to any of my connections, and that's why I'm not giving you their last names or contacts or anything like that, because this is not a sales thing. This is purely just giving you advice on what you need to do, and how you need to set yourself up for immediate and future success. And then the other two connections, one is my business partners. And Jawad is I think officially we're partners now, Jawad, because we've done a deal together, so I guess that makes us partners. There's Jawad, who I'm doing some wholesaling with, some Amazon business with. There's Chris, who I've got the Care Foundry business with. My wife, Sonia, who manages our IT firm, and then a bunch of other partners. And those are critical to my success as an entrepreneur. We had two really nice sales in Care Foundry. Could not have been done without Chris's input and his time in operations and development. We had a great wholesale opportunity that we flipped. Could not have done it with Jawad stepping up and investing in there. So business partners really, really critical as part of my ninja inner connection, inner circle. And then the next one is maybe this one is the most important, or one of the most important, is my spiritual partner. And that's, people like Sheikh Joe Bradford, who I interviewed a few days ago, Sheikh Omar here in Austin, Sheikh Kavachi, who is a renowned national scholar and was in Dallas for many, many years, and now he's in Turkey. And it's not like I sit there and have counseling sessions with them, you know, although I could if I wanted to, and I have in the past when, you know, life's issues come up, which they do for all of us, but they're available, and I can shoot them an email, and I can turn to them when I want to talk about either business, Sharia compliance questions, or, you know, sometimes just spiritual about family and things like that. And that's super, super critical. And again, you know, it's not like you have to go find a national scholar. Your local imam, that's, you know, that's their job, and it's easy to find. It doesn't even have to be an imam, it just could be a good friend, but somebody that you can bounce ideas off of and talk about spirituality and life balance and all that. And then I think the last, but certainly not the least, is, you know, is my family. Specifically my wife, Sonia, who, you know, I've talked about before. She really helps keep me balanced, because if it wasn't for her, I would be bouncing off the walls, and I would be investing in ridiculous things. And so she kind of, you know, is my yin to my yang. And again, that's a critical connection for you to have. And it doesn't have to be your wife or spouse. It could be your father. It could be a family friend. It could be whatever. But these are all things that, you know, really help create a circle around you of trust and keep things balanced. And you know, it's very easy sometimes for me to run off on my own and start a new venture and design or name or something like that. But I've regretted it when I've done that. You know, when they do, my connections find out what I do, they point things out to say, dude, you totally missed the boat. You should have done it this way or that way. So I try to value that more and more now. I do turn to them and say, hey, I'm about to acquire this business, or I'm about to get into this investment, or I want to do this or that. What do you think? And they'll bring up points that, you know, I didn't even think about. And so you really cannot be successful. It's very, very difficult on your own. You've got to be looking at people who are influencing your life in a positive way and turn to them. All right. So maybe I should finish this off with a moment of Zen and the beautiful, beautiful water behind me. So I'll leave you with that thought. Think about who the valuable people are in your life as connections, and make them part of your inner circle, and talk to them on a regular basis. They're going to be part of your success. That old saying about, you know, you are who your friends are, I think is very, very much true in entrepreneurship and in business. You are who your friends are. You are who your partners are. So get with people who are successful and who may be doing it better than you, maybe have done it before you, etc., and rely on them. Don't try to invent the wheel, and don't try to go it alone. All right, guys, enjoy your day. I feel a little bad sharing this with people up in New York buried in snow, but maybe not so much. I'm in Texas. All right, guys, happy selling.